How's it going, everyone? Today I'm going to show you how to check for check engine lights on your 90s Toyota, whether it's Celica, Camry, or Corolla. Not too sure about the Camry, but I definitely know on the Corolla and the Celica, this is what you need to do. The thing you're gonna need is a paper clip or a jumper wire. So starting not too long ago, my Celica has been running like junk, and I wasn't really too sure why. I didn't see any check engine lights on the dash, but there still could be stored codes in the system that don't throw off a check engine light. A component of your car could be at fault, but it's not enough to throw a light. Like if you unplug something, it'll throw a light because your car physically just isn't making that connection and isn't reading what that component is doing. But if it's connected, it senses that the component is there and it will not throw a check engine light. I am not getting a check engine light, but there are probably still stored codes. For some reason, when the temperature dropped, my car started running really bad. It had hard starting issue, and I thought this was due to the timing, which if your timing is too much advanced or too late retarded, it won't start correctly. It'll have a slow or hard starting. Once it gets started, it runs good until it warms up. Like, it's weird. I'm gonna try and start it, and then let's see what happens. All right, clutch in. Put a new battery in it, so it should be good. It's actually running fairly decent now, which is weird. On a really cold day, it started running really off. I'm gonna pop the hood and show you guys how to check for any stored codes. In order to do this test, I shut the engine off so I can show you guys exactly what we need to do. If you have a vehicle that's 94 and lower, I believe 95 and up started to have OBD2. Some 94 models probably did. But if you don't, you're gonna have this thing called a Diagnostics port. And that's located right here in your engine bay. And what this is it's pretty much exactly what it means. It's a diagnostics port. You connect terminals together to read certain engine codes. You can use it to jump terminals in order to put the car in certain test modes, like for when I do timing. I'm gonna redo the timing again, but I have to jump two terminals together in order to put the car in like an active timing mode so I can adjust the timing while the car's still running. So right down there, you can see TE1 and E1. What you need to do is jump those two between each other, and what that does is that puts the car in like a test mode, and then a check engine light will pop up, and I'll show you what they mean. Take your paper clip or your jumper wire and connect TE1 and E1 together. So now that you have those connected, start your car. Now on a Celica, I'm not too sure, but on a Corolla, after a couple seconds, you should see a check engine light pop up when you start it. Yes, there it is. Okay, so my car is throwing a code 26. So what you're looking for are intervals. 1, 2, then there's a pause. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh wait, no. Oh, it's got multiple codes. So I have 24 and 26. So we got 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so 24. And then I'll go through it again. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I think I only have code 24. So I was actually 100% right. There was a stored code in the system, code 24. Now, if your car doesn't have any codes, you'll just get a bunch of consecutive check engine light flashing, which means that your car is either in a test mode that you put it in, and or that means everything's working fine and it's just flashing the check engine light saying that everything's good. That's a sign saying that it doesn't have any codes. But obviously, you saw those 2 check engine light flashes. That's 2. The way you read it is you count the number of flashes, weight the interval in between, and then there's another consecutive amount of flashes. So you saw 2 check engine light flashes, then there was about a 2 to 3 second pause, and then you saw another 4 check engine light flashes. I have a log on my computer that tells me all the diagnostic trouble codes. I think there's only like 19 of them, which isn't a lot on these older cars. And I'm gonna see what number 24 was. I did see 26 in the beginning. It flashed 6 times, but I'm gonna look and see what number 24 is. My guess is it's going to be a mass airflow sensor, but you never know. Let's see. So I'm here on my computer, and code 24 is air intake temperature sensor signal, and 26 is air fuel ratio rich. Now, the two of those can be related. And the reason why those codes can be related is because your air intake temperature sensor is connected to your PCM, and your PCM is reading the temperature sensor, and the signal that it's giving your PCM may be that it's cold or it's really warm out. It might be telling the PCM that the temperature is wrong and not actually what it is. So what that means is your engine's either going to run very lean or very rich and compensate for what it thinks the air temperature is. So if it's really cold outside, chances are your sensor's going to read really cold and throw a little bit more fuel at the motor to get it running and get it up to operating temperature faster, and or just throwing more fuel at the motor. So or just throwing more fuel at the motor, because starting in colder weather, it requires a little bit more fuel than if it was warm out and the cylinder walls and the engine are already hot. So that could make sense. That is definitely a reason. And the air intake temperature signal. Now, there could be a problem with the circuit of the sensor. The sensor might not actually be bad, but also could be bad. It could be the wiring of the sensor isn't right. It could be a lot of different things, but this car's never really ran right at all, and I never thought about the air intake temperature sensor, which is actually really simple. So I'm going to replace that sensor and see if that does anything. And yes, I have noticed that my car has run very lean. I ran it at night, and I noticed I shined my headlights at the rear tailpipe one day as I was pulling in the driveway, and I saw some black smoke coming out. So that's definitely a sign that my engine's running pretty lean. So I'm just going to see what happens. So thank you everyone for watching. That's how you test your Toyota Celica or Corolla from 94 to, actually, maybe 93 to 95. This is how you test your car from 93 to 95, and for any trouble codes. Just because it doesn't show a trouble code on your actual car doesn't mean that there's probably trouble codes stored in the system. So I thank everyone for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.